David, let me ask you this. We talked about, and Robert mentioned an example of someone who came to you and in a day and a half you had him working. What other testimonials, obviously, just without naming anyone, can you give us to talk about how well your organization is doing, your successes?
Some of it, most of the time, is us collectively as veterans being out there. About a year ago, we had a former Marine Staff Sergeant that was a diesel mechanic. And he didn't know me, but he had heard about us and our organization, and he sent an email with his resume, and he said, we haven't met, but I've been out of work. I'm getting ready to lose my job. And he had a family. I didn't have time really to check him out, so I sent it out to my organization throughout, and within 5 days I got an email back from another California disabled veteran business, and he was looking for a diesel mechanic. So that young former Marine and his family were taken care of. He had a job within 5 days.
That's how I got him. I asked him, he handed me a resume, I found him. Works.
Yeah, the networking. So how do you, and I'm going to use this term, but how do you solicit your participants, besides like this show, getting people to know about you?
Well, our annual convention and our annual salute to veterans on Veterans Day brings in a lot of people. Brings a lot of people in from the community and from businesses outside. That's one way we do it. The other way is we work through Camp Pendleton, we work through the Naval Station, work through all the military facilities wherever possible to get the word out that we're looking for entrepreneurs. And that's the other way. We have a massive outreach going from the state level all the time.
And there's if I can use the term, there's a brotherhood out there, correct, of the military and referrals. I mean, Matt, you're not going to hesitate to point people in the right direction.
No, not at all. Just the same way that they found me, I'm going to find people, and I've found people to work for Robert as well, and I'll continue to look for more people that eventually can work for me, and I can do for them what Robert and David have done for me.
Trying to put me out of business.
I'm not going to comment on that. I'll leave that between you guys. Now, Robert, I know that you've had a lot to do with this, but how are the businesses receiving your organization, and who are the main liaisons to the businesses to get that participation?
Almost all large businesses have a minority outreach function of some kind. All the agencies have it. The investor-owned utilities have it, and they do a major outreach to us as we do to them also.
Okay.
And like I said in our annual convention, which is called Keeping the Promise, they're all there. And as business matchmaking, and you get your 15-second elevator speech in front of an actual buyer that has asked to see you. So you have a door open for you there. And then it's up to you to follow through on that to close the deal. But it's been very successful. Very so. We went from a small meeting, half a day in Sacramento. We outgrew the Irvine Marriott. We're moving to LAX next year. So it's successful. Yeah,
that sounds good. Now, in the energy efficiency industry, what are you finding there as far as the openness to disabled veterans?
Well, I feel that we've established ourselves not as disabled veterans, but more so as the quality of work that we've provided to a lot of big companies. And they know us on a first-name basis now, right up to the level of California Public Utilities Commission. They know us, and they know that we provide results.
I could see you as a liaison person in the future. David, what other resources are available, especially at a local level, for veterans to come in? Do you find a lot of them that haven't benefited or took advantage of this certification and things like that can move them on to something else?
Right, just what, like he had mentioned about everybody goes through the same transition process. Not every veteran takes advantage of that or takes the time to go to the process with the Veterans Administration to submit or go for their final physical, and that's part of it. They need to take advantage of that first. But there's outreach events all the time, whether it's our monthly meetings or the bases and stations have outreach events for employment and business opportunities.
Is anything done at the exit before the discharge for people to become aware?
There is a general program that's offered by all the services called TARP.
Tap and TAMP.
Tap and, yeah, it's an exit program. All exiting service people go through the program. It's not really specific for entrepreneurialism. It's more specific to job requirements and those kinds of EDD, Employment Development Department. And you can't tell, because if you're getting discharged from Camp Pendleton, well, my primary goal is to get back to Kansas in my truck and marry Sue. So I'm leaving town. So we don't keep it. But I will tell you that there are 30,000 veterans discharged into the state of California every year. 3,000 of them are disabled. So we've got a good opportunity to pull from that group and promote the entrepreneurialism in that group.
And I mean, you get someone who's given up, like you say, they've given up so much time and themselves, and sometimes body parts and capabilities. What do you find about that spirit of entrepreneurship there? How prevalent is it?
We all don't like to take orders all that much. So we like to give the orders. We learned how to give orders real well. So
that feeds it.
If we can own the business, it's much better. And people come out with ideas. They've seen the way things are done. Even if they're trying to sell back into the federal government, they say, this is a better way to do this. And we have guys come to our meetings all the time that say, we got a better way to do this, and this is what we want to sell. Can you help us with that? Sure, we can help you. We get the word out. We'll get your name up in lights, whatever it takes.
Yeah. Now, I'm curious, too, about the ratio of men and women where disabled veterans are concerned. What is it?
It's comparable to the workforce in the civilian world. So we have a lot of disabled veteran women-owned businesses, several as a matter of fact, and they're just as hard business people as the rest of us. So, yeah, they're tough to deal with, man. I mean, you can't do a contract negotiation, they're right there. So.
That sounds good. Now, Matt, what do you see as far as the future of this organization and for other guys like you that are, wanting to start a business?
I feel now at this point that it's my responsibility to eventually be sitting in Robert's seat in the future.
And continue to tell.
And continue to spread this and make this bigger and better, and
and
fight
without
for
being
more rights.
facetious, also with the way war is, and where we're at, and the way things look, or the way things have always been, there's always going to be that, if I could use that term, client base.
Sure. It is an up and out process to everything. So eventually I'm up and I'm out. I don't think I'll ever quit, but
Yeah.
you heard him. He wants to sit in my seats. I mean, that's
Well, when you're there, I
him.
won't be in this one. So
That's why I hired him.
that's good, though. You saw that.